So yeah, a bit of a different video tonight. So I was watching some 2010 WRC and found out that it was 10 years ago now, coming up to 10 years. It'll be on November 14th. It was November 11th to November 14th is the last time that they used the 2-litre WRC cars in competition. So it was obviously GB 2010. It was won by Seb Loeb, and I think Peter Solberg came second, which was quite a feat considering he's in a considering he was in a privateer team as well. So I thought what we do for the stream this evening is we've got both the Focus and the C4. We put them against each other on one of the stages in Wales Rally GB, which is Sweet Lamb, that was used that weekend. It was on the first day. Now, Jari Matti did lead in the Focus for quite a while, I think, after the first day, and then he suffered a puncture, so he dropped back down again. So then there was a battle between obviously Loeb and then also Solberg. So we'll drive the Focus, and then we'll have a drive of the C4, and we'll see what's the quickest. Obviously between the two, what's the most easiest to drive, then obviously we'll go from there. So let's get started. So we've got the Focus up first. Obviously these are 2-litre, nearly 300 horsepower, really torquey cars these are. Obviously the last WRC 2-litre from Ford. Let's see how we get on then. Right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50. 3 right over crest long tightens. Into 4 left, tightens, turn square left. Keep right over 60. 2 left over crest, tightens. Into 3 right over crest. Into 5 left. And 2 right long, tightens over crest. Into 3 left. And keep right over bump. Into 4 left long, opens over 60. Into 6.
And the Focus is quite popular in today's rallying when we actually get some. Still run by a few teams out there, so it's quite successful. I think obviously you'd still get some bits from M Sport. Quite a good chassis, I think. Obviously this shape Focus was the, next one along the line from the one that Colin McRae used to drive. And then after this it was replaced by the Fiesta. So in 2011 from these they went to the 1.6 litre Fiestas.
Left over crest, into 4 right, tightens over crest and through gate. 5 left over crest, into 5 right over jump, into 3 left long. 30, 4 left long over crest, into 5 right over crest, into 4 left, into 4 right over jump, into 6 left, 170 over bumps.
So on the GB 2010, the people driving these, I believe it was Jari Matti was driving the one. I think Mikko Hirvonen, no, it was Mikko? Yeah, Mikko Hirvonen I think was in the other one. And then you had Khaled Al-Qasimi running the third car. And then the likes of the event as well, you had privately entered Ken Block was also driving one of these as well.
6 left over crest, keep right over 60, turn 3 left long, opens over crest, back camber, 6 right over crest and turn square right through gate.
There's also, I believe, a Chinese driver driving, can't remember his name, but he was also driving on the 2010 Rally GB as well.
Into 3 left long, tightens over crest, into 5 right long, tightens, into 5 left, and 2 right long, tightens.
So in 2010 I think as well it was the furthest they'd go north would be Sweet Lamb. It was back in the days of the stages used to be in you know, South Wales. The rally was based out of Cardiff, for example.
3 left long.
I think they also used a
Into 5 right of a crest.
Cardiff Bay sort of stage across the top of the barrage as well, which is quite interesting.
50. 4 left.
Bit different, not proper rallying, but
5 left. Into 2 right long tightens. Into 3 left. 4 right. Into 2 left long tightens. 80 over bumps. 4 left long tightens over crest. Into 2 right over crest long. Opens into 4 right over crest. Into slow. 3 left long tightens turn.
try not to suffer the same fate as Yari Matti and have a crash now. Saying that, watch me go off.
Right of a big crest.
Come on.
Into 6 left long, tightens 3, tightens. To jump, into turn 2 right, tightens. Into 3 left, tightens over crest. Into 4 right,
I do remember going the one time down to
into 2 right,
Cardiff,
tightens.
living in South Wales myself. I managed to
5 right,
drive down to
crest, tightens, slow.
Rally GB this
Deep pass junction,
in
turn
2010, and you had the likes of, you know, it was cool to see Ken Block and all,
opens over crest.
and they'd
into
use
4
the
right long, over crest.
the area in Cardiff Bay just outside for the service area, so that's pretty cool. But
Right.
you know, I think it was obviously a bit
Into
busy,
4 left long over crest,
a bit
tightens.
messy there.
100 bumps, don't cut, 6 left of a jump to keep right of
I
a
was just,
30,
you know, into the era then, as you also had the Super 2000 cars
30 of a crest,
at the time.
80, 6 left of a crest,
You know, nowhere near as competitive as these, but
6 left of a big jump, 80, keep middle of a crest, jump slow, 30, 6 left into turn, open hairpin right,
if I remember rightly, the weekend was absolutely sodden wet.
5 left
I
of
think
a
it
crest,
rained most days.
50, 3 left of a crest, tightens, don't cut, into 4 right long, opens, slow, 30,
They did also visit
right
the
long into turn, hairpin
Radnor stage, which is an awesome stage. I've luckily had the opportunity to go, you know, round Radnor a couple of times competitively.
30,
And you can see why the drivers loved it, because it was absolutely flat out.
4 right of a crest, bump, 100, 6 right, 80, crest into 5 right long, tightens through gate and water splash,
Be a
jump,
bit steady down there now. Past all the speckies.
tight hairpin right,
Don't want to mess it up in front of them.
into 1 left long, opens 2 long, 60, 4 right, tightens over jump, opens long, tightens jump, into 4 right, tightens through water splash, and 2 right long, tightens through gate, opens over crest 60, 5 left, opens 50,
I know Yari Matti said that he went through that water splash
over finish,
on this stage and
left long,
had some issues with the engine on the rally, so managed to, you know, lose a bit of time there, but that wasn't too bad. So there we are, we've got a benchmark for the Focus of a 632 365. Not a bad run, to be fair. See, not the fastest, not massively attacking, but you know, a nice steady run. So let's set the C4 up and have a go with that one then. So here we are, we got Pet Solberg's liveried car, ironically liveried from the same time. You know, Petter had a good run. He had a chance of being second in the championship that weekend as well, but I think Yari Matti just picked him to be in second. But you know, for Petter, who's a privately run team, you know, the guy did really well, to be fair to him. You know, and he's obviously got a hell of a lot of talent. I can remember watching, I felt so bad for excuse me, felt so bad for Petter because he was driving with Subaru and then got obviously dropped when they left and then was out of drive, and you know, came back with his privateer C4 and still showed that he still had it, and obviously he's still, you know, an amazing driver now because you've got the likes of Pirelli using him for testing, and you know, that's also good as well. So And then obviously you've got his son Oliver now, which is absolutely smashing it. So yeah, well, I'll have a go, same stage, and see how close we can get. Let's see what this can do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50. 3 right over crest, long tightens. Into 4 left, tightens, turn square left. Keep right over 60. 2 left over crest, tightens. Into 3 right over crest. Into 5 left. And 2 right long, tightens over crest. Into 3 left.
So, as you said, the C4,
Into 4 left long, opens over 60.
one of the most successful cars I think in WRC rallying.
Into 3 left.
Obviously helped Mr. Loeb
Into 4 right over crest bump.
capture a couple of his championships, which was cool.
60.
Replace
5 left long, tightens 3.
the Zara World Rally Car,
To keep right over jump into 3.
which was also highly successful.
Crest. And keep right. Into 4 left over crest.
Down at the split there from the Focus,
4 left long.
but did have a little bit of a moment back there, so that's more than likely why.
Bumps. 5 left over jump. 5 right long, opens over crest, back camber. Into 4 left long over crest. 50.
So I think on the same rally,
Opens over crest, don't cut.
a certain Mr.
6 right.
Ogier was piloting a C4 on the 2010 edition,
4 left over
but
crest.
came a cropper
Tightens over
on
crest.
day 2 when he decided to put it on its roof in a ditch somewhere,
Right over jump.
and then damaged the roll cage, so it got put out of the rally.
30. 4 left long over crest. Into 5 right over crest. Into 4 left.
Also, I think Danny Sordo
Into 4 right over jump.
was in one of these, still going now, fair play to him.
170. Over bumps.
And then
5 left.
same event,
Keep in over crest jump.
a certain
Left. Opens over
Formula
crest.
1 driver by the name of
Left over 80.
Kimi Raikkonen was also piloting a privateered,
3. Don't cut.
privately entered
30. 4 right over
C4. I think he got up to about 8th place, and you know, I know people slate him, but you know, rally driving's not
4 right.
easy to do, and
Tightens turn.
you know, to hold 8th, fair play to him. Like,
Left over crest.
can't fault the boy really.
60. Turn.
Oh, bit of understeer there.
Opens over crest, back camber. 6 right. Over crest and turn square right through gate. 60. Crest. Into 5 right over jump. Into 3 left long.
So then,
Tightens over crest.
obviously,
Into 5 right long.
C4 2011 as the
Into 5 left.
Focus was replaced by the Fiesta.
Long. Tightens.
The C4 got replaced by the very,
4 left.
you know, successful DS3.
50 over
And
crest.
that's a shame really, because
60.
obviously Citroën were massively successful through these,
Don't cut.
you know, this era of rallying.
Into 5 right over crest.
They were, you know, with the Zara, when Loeb come in, all the way through to the,
Left.
you know, to the DS3, and
80.
they seemed to go to the Citroën C3, and it just
Into 2 right long. Tightens.
ruined everything. It's a shame really, because now they're no longer, you know, no longer in rallying, and they were,
Into 2 left.
you know, one of the most formidable teams, Citroën, back, you know, through the early 2000s
4 left long. Tightens over
until they, you know,
Into 2 right.
2017 when they brought the regulations out.
Opens. Into 4 right over crest. Into slow 3 left long. Tightens turn square left unseen.
It's just a shame as well, because unlike the Focus, you know, and the Fiesta and
5
all of the
right over
cars from
crest.
Ford that are currently out there now,
Into 6 left
you very rarely see a,
tightens.
you know, a Citroën World Rally car,
To jump.
especially in the UK, maybe more on the continent, but we
Into
just
3 left.
we just
Tightens
don't
over crest. Into 4 right.
get them over here, which is a shame really, because
Into 2 right.
they are some cool, you know, cool looking cars.
Left. 5 right. 4 left over bump crest. Tightens slow. Keep left over.
I remember
80,
seeing,
junction,
I think
turn
it was
square
Rally
right.
Island one year where
3 left.
Chris Atkinson
4 right long.
absolutely wrapped one of these round a lamppost.
Into 3 left over crest. 30.
I think he was privately entered, and that didn't go down too well, I'd imagine.
Into 4 left long over
So here we are now,
into a 30.
at the top of the Sweetland complex, over the jumps.
30 over crest.
Oh, a bit of a bump through there.
80. 6 left over crest past junction.
We're up on the splits, but it was just at the end of that off, so I don't know if we'll keep it.
Crest jump slow. 30. 6 left into turn. Open hairpin right.
Okay, stop because it's quite slippery down through here. Try not to cut the inside too much.
Over crest. 50. 3 left over crest. Tightens, don't cut. Into 4 right long.
You know, I'm coming off the back of GB.
30.
Hopefully
4 right long.
it doesn't move to Northern Ireland. You know, it'd be an interesting change, but
80.
it's such a historic event. I'd be a bit gutted for it to move to Northern Ireland, but
Crest. 50. 4 right over crest. Bump. 100. 6 right. 80.
oh, better not cut that. That was a bit of a mess.
Crest into 5 right long. Tightens through gate and water splash. Jump. 100. Turn. Tight hairpin right.
Over the jump.
Into 1 left long.
Get it stopped for the hairpin.
60.
Past the specky area.
Tightens over jump. Opens long. Tightens jump.
Over the jump.
Right, tightens through water splash. And 2 right long. Tightens through gate. Opens over crest 60.
Watch the gate.
Left.
Whoa.
Opens 50. 6 right over crest. 60 over finish.
Flat to the line now, more or less.
Opens
Come
over
on.
crest.
Up the gears. And there was a 6:29. So 3 seconds faster. So there you have it. A 6:29.2 compared to the Focus's 6:32. Even with a couple of moments in there for the C4. You know, it was interesting to say the least. But yeah, obviously nearly 10 years since these 2-litre World Rally cars obviously no longer competed in the WRC Championship, so thought I'd obviously do a little test between those two because they were the two main rivals at the 2010 Wales Rally GB. So yeah, obviously not a bad one, and we'll obviously carry on from there.